I need to decide what to do with this doorway. Well, it used to be a doorway. You see, we used to have the earth going all the way across the same level. But what kept happening every time it rained, the building would flood. So as an effort to stop building for flooding, I got a big digger in. He dug a 2-metre trench all the way around the outside. And then we also replaced the roof. The combination of that solved the flooding problem. And now I have this doorway space that needs to be filled. But I don't have the budget to buy in a nice big window to fit the space. So I have to get creative. That's a lot brighter. Okay, so I'm going to build a window into this space, and using as much recyclable and natural material as possible that's lying around, because I'm on a tight budget. I'm going to have to buy some stuff in, like the wood for the frame and the hinges. But yeah, I'm excited about this challenge. A friend of mine picked this window up from the dump. It's in pretty good condition, actually. I think I'll use this. Locking mechanisms, it's a bit stiff, but it still works. I think I'm going to use this Nordic pine to build the wooden frame for the window. Crazy thing is, it's only €2 per metre less than galvanised steel. I've never made a window frame before, but luckily my friend Joey was on hand to offer his help and guidance. Yeah, great.
Right, don't you dare credit me with having broken these out with a masonry chisel. Bloody hell, I'll never live it down.
We make do with what we have here.
Your comment section is going to be like, what the? Why the hell do you not have a chisel?
Yeah, like, well,
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I've gone for using these strap hinges to fix the window onto the frame. After many adjustments, including sawing off lumps of wood, cutting out notches, filing the frame down, it's finally ready to fit in the space. But first, I need to treat the wood. I've used boiled linseed oil, which is a drying oil, to treat the frame, and then just add it quite liberally. And use a paper towel to spread out the oil evenly, smoothly, making sure that there are no pools of oil any spot. And there's some parts of the wood that might take up the oil more readily than others, especially around the knots. So you have to make sure that it's spread out very evenly. So I've just smoothly and evenly spread it over the surface. I'm going to leave that dry for about 15-20 minutes. Let things soaking in, and then see if there's anything left to even out. It's barely visible, but there is some excess linseed oil here. I just need to wipe this off with a towel. So the window is hung, and it opens very nicely. Now I need to bit the bits around the edges of the frame. I don't know what they're called, but window stop or something. Yeah, so I need to measure them up and do that. 58.2. Now, if you've seen one of my previous videos on making a mezzanine bed, we cut away the floorboards from the first floor. This is the access to the first floor to make this mezzanine bed here. So this part of the what will be the window is at bed level. Up here, it makes sense to have a clear window, but not down here. You want a little bit more privacy, right? So the option is obviously frosted glass, but I don't have that. I've got plenty of bottles though, so I was looking into making a bottle wall, a small little bottle wall. And my research told me that it's a good idea to put these screws in as studs to help the mortar mix that's going to secure the bottles in place, to have something to key onto. So that's what these are about. I've cleaned up the bottles, taped them together, and then organised them in this little frame that I've made, which is the same dimensions as the space. So now I've got to put them in place. The angle of this stone that was at the foot of the old doorway was sloping inwards towards the centre of the building. So I just used some lime mortar and some flat stones just to reverse the angle so it's sloping outwards. When making up a bottle wall, I've seen some people use foam blocks with bottle-sized holes cut in them to help secure the bottles in place, and then build the mortar up around the side. Well, I don't have the foam block to hand, and I certainly didn't want to buy a circular cutter just for this small little space. So I decided just to layer up the mortar around in between the blocks by hand.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, I don't want line. I don't like the finishing.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I like, and I think it's good for you too because you make the final. The final.
Layer by layer, it was pretty slow going, but laying these bottles, it's kind of work that I like to do. Very, very meticulous and a lot of attention to detail. Time was of the essence though, because my friend Fab had just arrived because he was going to help me to plaster the inside of the building. And so I needed to get this window fitted and finished.
Yes, why not? The other one.
I ended up finishing this little bottle wall last night after my camera battery died. Kind of wish that I thought more about the pattern. It's a bit random, but yeah, it still looks beautiful with the light shining through. Need to get it done. So I'm going to fill around the sides, 5 sides of the window frame with mortar and stone, because we are currently plastering. It's going to be part of the plastering work around the window frame. One of the considerations I've had is how do I fix this wooden frame onto the wall? And I could use brackets, but I feel that the moment I start drilling into these stones, they could possibly crack. They do seem quite brittle. So Joey recommended using screws and then building up the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up filling this gap with stones and mortar, and then the screws are going to act as like a key, which is going to help secure the wooden frame in place. I know there are easier and quicker ways to do it, but filling this space with stones and mortar just feels more satisfying. I asked Fabian in to help me because he just gets the plastering done so quickly. And if you're interested, the mix that he's using was 6 parts yellow sand, 1 part coarse sand or building sand or river sand, depending how you call it, 1 part clay and 1 part hydraulic lime. Considering this is the first time that I've either fitted a window or made a bottle, I'm absolutely delighted with how this has turned out. Using these recycled materials to allow so much light into the building in such a beautiful way, it's become like, you know how if you look at fire, it's almost hypnotic? I think I'm going to really enjoy being in this space.